Hi, my name is Georgia Parfit Coombs. The title of my project is Change. My role within this project was being the writer, the director, and the producer. My project is about racial inequalities and portraying it through dance and the dance world and ballet in particular. One of the major inspirations for this project was an article I read where Black Ballet and Freed had collabed in 2019 to make the first ever coloured ballet shoes. So it was available in other ranges than just peach/pink. That really made me think and made me want to raise awareness of this because not many people know that it was only 2019 when this was brought in. I'm really excited about this project and hoping that people actually take something from it. I hope that it gives people some knowledge on what is actually still going on inequality wise, because not many people, especially people of a white British background, aren't really aware that this is still happening because it's not visual to them. So I'm really excited about this project. I really hope that it sends the message that I'm aiming for. The creative process for this project was quite difficult. I did a lot of research about the other people's experiences, what other people had said about it, and just being a fan of dance myself, I knew little bits. So when it came down to the creative process, I had an idea that I wanted to raise awareness of racial inequality or gender inequality, any type of inequality. I knew that is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to make something that was going to make people think. But for me, it was a case of sitting down and putting all my ideas on the paper, seeing what I could roll off, just writing from the heart and seeing what I could come up with. And eventually I came up with the racial inequalities through ballet. A lot of people used makeup to colour their ballet shoes to make it their skin colour, whereas I used an alternative. COVID. COVID. How has it affected my project? How hasn't it? I had to split all of my actors into three different groups. Where I wanted to portray a full ballet class, I couldn't due to the space and the 2 meter distancing and every rule that we had to follow. So I was only able to have six children in the ballet class and had to make it look as full as I could. That was a difficult process, as well as licensing the children is filling out all of the COVID regulation forms, the COVID declarations, the health and safety with COVID. I just added on to the already very long process. We struggled to find locations with a lot of air ventilation, somewhere where the parents didn't need to be in the room as well, just to minimize the amount of people that were in the room and that were in that space. It was just it's a difficult process anyways. And then when you chuck COVID in the mix, it's a completely different ball game. Also, with my main cast, we all moved into a house. We created our own bubble, so they could have that contact that I needed to bring the story to life and to show the connection as a family unit. In the future, I would eventually like to produce, but I know for me, I'd like to work my way up I'd like to begin as assistant or coordinator or anything like that. I want to gain experience and get my knowledge to a standard where it needs to be for me to be able to work well within the industry. My time at university has really helped me with my project because it allowed me to be independent with my creative process. Due to COVID as well, we've been even more independent, and I've very much been hands on with the whole process of this project. And that has helped me learn and gain experience and adapt to situations that I probably wouldn't have if it wasn't, well, I wouldn't have if it wasn't for COVID. So uni, it's been that support system, but allowed me to be entirely independent to the extent that I've needed to be. The process of this project, in one word, would have to be roller coaster. There's been a lot of ups and downs, there's been a lot of hitting walls and not knowing where to go next, and then extremely fast, and everything's happening all at once, and then all of a sudden you come to a stop, and then it's filming, and it's been very much up and down process, but overall an enjoyable one. So I would definitely describe it as a roller coaster.